Are you recording?
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Welcome to Dark Times with Catie podcast. I am super excited to have a special guest, and she actually brought this topic all together to me, and it's something that I'm curious about as well. So, trigger warning, we are going to be talking about, just not good things, right, Sarah? Like it's kind of sad, but it's also a kind of subject that we definitely need more answers and perhaps more questions on. Don't you agree? So I have Sarah Harris here, and not trying to do favoritism or anything, but she's one of my agents out of Texas, and I just love her to pieces. And she wanted to be on the podcast this time. So, Sarah, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Love it. Love it. Now, again, if you guys are just tuning in or just coming into my podcast, thank you so much, guys. Just like, subscribe, share. If you are fascinated by dark content, true crime, subjects that is not the main conversations at dinner, okay? Definitely subscribe to this podcast. Today's conversation is a heavy one. And the podcast title, again, Sarah brought it to my attention, is money worth everything? The hidden mental health cost of financial struggles. And I know you're probably going to be like, irony, right, Sarah? Because her and I are in the finance business.
Yes.
Yes, we work together. But we also think, I personally don't think money is everything. How do you feel, Sarah?
Sorry, I was reading ahead. You'll have to repeat that question.
No, no, you're fine.
This
Right
is what
now, like,
happens when I go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. So I was just curious, in your opinion, I mean, do you really think money is worth everything? Is it worth every single thing?
No, because for one thing, it can
Hmm.
be here today and gone tomorrow if it's not handled right.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that. But like this podcast is about, it is the hidden mental health of cost of financial struggles. Okay. Now, like I said, it's a heavy one, but it is one that affects millions of people. So, Sarah and I, we're going to be talking about financial stress, mental health, and why so many people feel, they feel very overwhelmed in today's economy. So, again, Sarah's here. We're going to have an honest conversation about the pressure people are facing, the link between financial struggles, suicide, and whether money is really worth sacrificing our happiness, relationships, or even our lives. So, Sarah, thank you. Thank you again for being here.
You're welcome.
So, you believe that this is a conversation a lot of people need right now, right? So, why are people struggling? So when Sarah, when you look around today, what do you think people are struggling with the most financially?
Gosh. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is inflation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole list. The cost of housing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much debt, and there's so many medical bills, student loans, job insecurity. And there's just so much pressure on social media expectations.
I mean, I think, one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is shame.
Right.
People feel embarrassed when they're struggling financially. Don't you agree, Sarah?
Yes. And I think so many people suffer in silence because they think they're the only ones. But there's what people don't know is that's why we're here. There's hope. There's a way out.
There is a way out. Research has actually shown that financial stress can contribute to depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and increased suicide risk. So, what do you think, Sarah? Money has such a powerful effect on mental health.
Well, because of all the debt and everything that we just mentioned earlier just piles up and people feel trapped and they're stuck. Like we said earlier, they don't feel like there's a way out. They have the fear of losing a home, the inability to provide for their family, loss of control.
Okay, I've definitely noticed many people don't actually want to die, right? Like I feel like a lot of people don't. They just want the pain and they want the pressure and the fear to stop, you know?
Yes, there is a difference between wanting life to end and wanting suffering to end.
See, but that right there, Sarah, that is like such an important distinction, you know? Like again, I'm going to ask the beginning question, is money really everything? I mean, is it really everything, Sarah?
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I mean, it can be good and bad, but let's ask the big question. Is money really everything? And I think it depends on what you use it for. I mean, you can use it for good, but if you feel like you're stuck and you feel like there's no hope, you're not there yet.
Right. So, but having enough money for stability does matter, you know?
Yes.
Okay. So, money can solve certain problems, but it can't buy purpose. It can't buy healthy relationships. It can't buy love, connection. Um, I believe it can buy a peace of mind, and I think that's very important, especially for mental health.
Yes. Well, some of the wealthiest people in the world still struggle with depression and loneliness.
Yeah, I think the word you said addiction, right? Yeah, it just cut off.
Yes.
Sorry, we are on Zoom. Like I'm in Virginia and she's in Texas right now. So we might have some tech problems, but no worries. Yeah, no, and some people, Sarah, with very little money have strong relationships, community, faith, and purpose. So, do you think social media has made financial stress worse?
I do. I mean, we look on social media and, you know, we look at what somebody has that we don't have. And then it goes down the whole rabbit hole of, I don't have this, I don't have that. And so, and that comparison just kills your joy because you're on this earth to do your purpose in life, not theirs. So but it's easy to fall into that trap if you're not careful.
Yeah, no, like Sarah, have you ever went on like, TikTok or any of the socials and you were doing really good with saving money? You were like, okay, I've been doing good. I got my necessities. I'm just going to put some money away. But then that never happens because what happens, there are all these ads for products that you want. Like you
Right?
don't
That's
know
what I
that
was just
you,
thinking
right?
about.
Yeah, like you don't know that you need it until you see it over and over and over again. And then you're like, oh man, is this gonna better my life? Do I
Right?
really need to drop $60 on a cat fountain right now? Um,
Right.
Right? Like, I
Right?
mean, I'm trying to think of other examples, Sarah. Like what's something that
Oh
caught
my
your
goodness, for
attention?
me, it's the latest tech.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm actually guilty on that one too. I love the latest tech. Clicks, have you heard of them? Clicks is this is not sponsored by the way, okay guys? But Clicks is a type of like a tech equipment that goes onto your phone like an adapter, and it has a keyboard on it. So it just reminds you of back in the, BlackBerry days.
Oh,
So
wow.
I know, and I was like, and I got it last year. But did I need it? No, I didn't. So I do agree with you, Sarah, about social media. So it's not about just what people look like or what they wear, but it's more than that. Like you said, it's a lifestyle that people see and then they compare themselves, you know? I talked to somebody that had extra money and she thought she would be more, popular or get more views and likes because she bought this brand new makeup palette that was sold out in 20 minutes. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then you realize, oh my gosh, you only used the makeup palette once. Did you have to really spend the $50 on the makeup palette? Okay. Um, and yes, I mean I could be talking about myself because I do love makeup, and there's oh my God, the market is saturated with makeup, Sarah. Like you don't know what the truth is anymore. And again, I think that's really bad with social media again because you don't know it's real or not, you know. With the AI
Right.
stuff, Sarah, it's kind of nuts. So people
Well, then
see,
there's the
yeah.
subscriptions. Like,
Oh my,
should you
yes.
can you justify a, another subscription, even let's say if it would help you with your business,
Yes. Yeah,
That's
there's
another one.
yes. I mean, but you also have to take care of your mental health, hence what we're talking about. So if you want a subscription to like your TV program, that's okay, right? One or two, but there's people that go way overboard. Because again, you have all these advertisement, you have all these shows. I mean, I remember, Sarah, that there was commercials, there wasn't TiVo. Back in the day, I thought if you had TiVo, you won at life, like I'm in a fancy house if you have TiVo.
Right. Right.
Um, but TV shows were not that saturated. You had these certain channels and that was fine. But now it's so much content of everything, people can't keep up. And I
Right.
think and I think we're like overstimulated. And that brings me to people see someone's highlight reel and they think they're falling behind, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Many a lot of people are struggling too as well. So, like I said, you don't know what's real or not. But of course, I wish more than anything how people talk to one another on social media. I wish they would do that in real life and see the consequences.
Right.
Sarah, like
Yes.
some of the stuff I read and I'm like, do you kiss your mom with that mouth? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
That's when
like,
you just scroll by.
yeah, you're just
That's what
like,
I do.
yeah,
I don't need
I
the
mean,
drama.
exactly, Sarah. But the thing is, but how long do you scroll? How much do you scroll until you get some kind of peace, right? So that was like a little social media tangent. So, Sarah, you were talking about failure, like, people think they are failures.
Just know that, oh, kind of emotional here, but just know
No.
you are not a failure because you're struggling actually. And your bank account does not determine worth.
And your circumstances, wow. Woo! Circumstances can change.
Yes.
Wonder what I was reading before this. I was reading all kinds of dark content before we jumped on, so that's a whole different thing if we're thinking about doing that next podcast. So ADHD is real, guys. I don't even know if I have it personally. On social media, the way they portray people, it's like we all are mentally ill, right, Sarah? Like, I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
I
feels
mean, but
normal.
also don't speak that over yourself, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You have gifts and talents that God gave you and you're using them. So
Yes,
don't speak negative about that because you're
yes.
smart. You're smart and you're a multitasker.
Yes, that I am. That I am. It could be a weakness or a strength. I'm still trying to, figure that out. But thank you. You're so kind, Sarah. So, circumstances can change. A difficult season is not a permanent sentence.
Right? You can, there are steps you can take. Uh, Ask for, talk to someone, even though that's not an easy thing to do. When it gets out like that, though, um, you can get help. Um, the thing to do though is to out before things become over. There's
Yeah.
freedom when you do.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying like you need to reach out before things get overwhelming.
Yes.
I mean, there's absolutely no shame in needing support, you know?
Right.
So Sarah came across this, I believe, on the news, right? An article, and it said that the suicide rates are pretty much what, like through the roof
Yes.
because of financial decisions. So I like to, it's going to sound nuts, but I think you'll understand. So it is a choice if you want to take your own life. It is a choice. Just like you are in a relationship, right? And things are a little stale or not what you like, and some pretty thing like comes and talks to you or whatever, and then, you perk up again, right? Now I bring that up because, there's so many divorces out there, and they had a choice, right? Like they're always like, well, it's not my fault, I fell in love with her, and I'm like, there is always 1 second, right, Sarah? There's always 1 second where you're like, do I fall or do I not fall, right?
Or do you stick it out even when things get tough?
Exactly, for better or for worse. Unless, a total monster abuser, that's a
Right.
different that's a whole
That's
different
totally
thing.
different.
That's a totally different thing. But I love, Sarah. I'm a very loving person. So how I can talk about this sad matter with suicide, I've lost personal loved ones myself, and it's been so tragic, but it was a choice. They decided to do that because there's always 1 second where you're like, should I do this? Should I not? You know?
Yes.
What Sarah was
I,
saying is that we were talking, and it's not talked about enough. It's not talked about how, like, first of all, people think money is everything, and they also think money is the root of all evil. So it's kind of, Sarah, don't you agree? It's like a gray area. There's no like black or white with money, you know?
yeah.
Um, I think people just need to talk to each other. And I think that there are people out there, that really do want to help them. Not everybody is judgmental. Not everybody are monsters. In fact, it is way worse in your head than in real life, you know? Right, Sarah? So it's like when you
Sometimes
watch,
it just
yeah,
takes a shift in the way you think.
it does. It takes a shift in the way you think. It's all about mindset. Like, so Sarah, I don't know if you like horror movies, but for me, I think the scary horror movies are the ones where you don't see the monster because your imagination made it way worse than what could possibly be created, you know? And that's why you always have like a war with your mind. That's why they say you are your own worst enemy,
Hmm.
you know? Sarah just said that you need to speak positively about yourself, number one. Even though I joke and, Sarah knows I'm joking, it's still, if I say anything negative, I mean, that means I put that out. I put that out there. I could not mean it. It just could slip out or didn't mean anything, but words have power. Don't
Yes.
you agree, Sarah?
They either give life or death, and you choose which one you're going to speak out.
Wow, yeah. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, it okay. It's just like, and sometimes it's not even what you say; it's what you hear. Like
Hmm.
an example, we were talking about before we started this episode, a video this morning, and the guy just spoke over all of us that, oh, when you get sick or whatever like that. And I'm like, don't speak that over me, not when there's others speaking over me that, walk in divine health and all these things. So, um, I don't know. It's like we're
In different
you've
perspectives.
got to decide what you're going to put out there and
Hmm.
think before you speak, man, especially if you're going to do a video. you know
Yeah, we were watching this video during our coaching call. And it's really great. Like we have amazing mentors for our business. Very kind, very motivating people. I'm very big on self-development because if I just want to achieve anything in life, I have to become better and better and better. I believe Sarah agrees too. Like you
oh
can
yes.
always level up. Um, I was raised that my parents were like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter what you have. We all go to the restroom, we all bleed. We all need to treat people how we would like to be treated, you know. You have no right to judge, only God can judge us. So, yeah,
That sounds kind of like how I grew up. My dad always used to say, "Be kind one, to each other," and
always.
and he lived by it. So
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, I mean, you're a very caring person too, Sarah. You're very strong. And if you guys are in Texas, definitely hear her sing. She's an amazing singer. She sings at the church. But yeah, I know. I love how we went off on a tangent, but that's why I love podcasts
that's my fault.
because no, it's my fault, Sarah. Are you kidding me? But this is, it's a podcast. People want authenticity. They want realism, you know? Um, if you want, you are welcome to do, say something about yourself that would, that you have a superpower, like you're really great with people, you have amazing confidence. It could be the Aries energy queen, okay? Um,
It's God.
it's God.
I mean, it's funny because my dad's life verse was being kind one to another, and my mom's was, um I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I think about that more now than ever. I mean, especially going through, like, what I'm studying for and what you're studying for too. It's like, with God's help, we can do this. And it's the same with anything else. So, um, I mean, it's
No,
just all in, I was just all in how you look at it. I mean, I'm, I'm blind. I have been since I was a premature baby. Um, and the easy explanation of my blindness is they call it now retinopathy of prematurity. And so um, I've been blind all my life. I don't remember seeing, um, which, there are some things that I would like to see, but there are also things that God shows me that only He could. And those are the things that I hold on to and I never forget because they're just so personal. So in a way, I guess this might sound strange, but because of what he lets me see, those are the things that I don't mind seeing. There's a lot in this world I'm glad I don't have to see. I'm spared that. So
Wow. That's a very powerful testimony, Sarah. And me, I love having these deep conversations. Religion, politics, they always say steer clear from them. And of class. I do believe personally there's a higher power, and I also believe whoever created us loves us no matter what unconditionally and wants us to be good people. So I agree there. But what's important is that there are people out here that care about you. You cannot worry about the money struggles. There is amazing audios on manifesting, changing your mindset, and you have to change your vibration, your frequency, because in order for abundance to come to you, you kind of have to rewire yourself a little bit, right,
oh
Sarah?
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know? You do. You absolutely do. So, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone who may need to hear it. And if you're struggling, please remember that your life has value far beyond any number in a bank account. You matter, and you are loved. And there are so many people that want to help. If you are in crisis in the United States, call or text 988 for immediate support. As I always say, thank you very much for joining us, you guys. You are loved, you are cherished, and remember, you are doing better than you think. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.